Do you, Coach?
Call the meeting to order. Let's have roll call.
Mayor Truman.
Here.
Councilmember Colbert.
Here.
Councilmember Shriven.
Here.
Councilmember Reed. Here. Councilmember Anderson. Councilmember Gregory.
Here.
Councilmember Daniels.
Here.
Councilmember Evans.
Present.
Councilmember Stam.
Here.
Before we stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like to introduce our new city administrator, Cindra Castens. She's been here this week, so. All right, let's all stand for the invocation, please.
Gracious and loving God, we give you thanks for tonight and thank you for this great opportunity to serve our community. As we gather for our city council meeting tonight, we ask you to be with us and bless each one of us to guide our thoughts, our hearts, our minds, and our words and decision as we work together. Lord, help us to listen to each other with open hearts and a passion and act with justice and care. Lord, everything that we say and decision we make tonight will bring you glory and honor and benefit the people, residents in this community. We thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Yeah. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Today's a variety pack.
Okay, it's approval of tonight's agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to the administration agenda, the minutes of the January 20th meeting. Any questions, comments, or changes?
Move to approve the minutes of January 20th, 2026 regular council meeting as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the January 20th meeting. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to presentations and proclamations. We got this presentation tonight. Our finance department, which is Clint, and I'll let Clint talk about it, I guess.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Just wanted to know that I was thinking it was the 16th year in a row. It's actually the 11th, but we got our national GFOA award yet again. It's the 11th consecutive year. So this plaque will actually be retired and they're going to be sending us a new one, which we'll put back here on the wall. And if everybody has no problem with it, I'll retire this one to the finance director's office. So, a lot of work has been put into this. I've done it for 2 years in a row, but I commend the two previous finance directors for getting those other 9 years. And it's a great testament that the city's transparent and passes this. It's a difficult thing to pass that only about 4,000 cities in the nation pass every single year. One of the things that it does for us is by getting this award, allows us to get better bond rates. And again, financing and the projects that we're doing, it can be up to 0.5% is what our bond council set. So you get 0.5% times many millions times. There's a lot of money that it saves the city by getting this award. So I'm going to retire this one in my office. We'll have a new one coming to us in the mail here shortly. And I just wanted to announce that the city did get it for its 11th year in a row.
Thank you, Clint. Congratulations to your department. Okay, moving on to the public forum. Is there anyone here from the public that'd like to address the council on anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, if not, we'll move on. Moving on to appointments. I have an appointment to the Economic Development Board. I got his name here, some Casey Carlson. Be appointed through December 2027. So you have to be, we have to vote on that? Yeah, okay.
Make a motion to reappoint Casey Carlson on the Economic Development Board.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve Casey Carlson as the Economic Development Board. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. No old business. Moving on to new business. Approval of the Lions Club Car Show and street closure. We have Mr. Harmon here.
Good evening, and thank you for your time. Lions Club, I'm Keith Hammer with the Valley Center Lions Club Car Show Committee. Our annual car show is scheduled for September 11th of this year. This will be our 20th annual car show. I found a flyer today that showed when we had our car show, the first time we had it on Main Street, and that was in 2013. So we've been there a number of years, and people really enjoy being down in Old Town Valley Center and the entrance and also the public. So we appreciate your help in that regard. The car show is our largest fundraiser for the year, and every amount of dollar that we get goes back into this community. Last year, car show was our biggest that we've ever done. We had 200 cars in attendance. 82% of those cars came from outside of this area, with 32 different towns represented. We had cars from 100 miles away in Kansas. We had some from Ponca City, Oklahoma. We even had one car from Indiana over 600 miles away. We've got a great judging crew, and the people in the car show community love what we do, and so we get a wonderful turnout for that and get some really nice cars for that. This year, we plan to celebrate the America's 250th birthday. Also, we are going to have an in-show remembrance of 9/11. In an effort to promote downtown businesses, we do a poker walk, which requires the car show entrance to actually go inside participating businesses to get for their playing cards. This has been well received by both the entrance and the businesses, because we appreciate the businesses shutting down for that evening, and we want to try to get as many people into their businesses as we possibly can. So we try to give back for that. The Lions Club is requesting the same street closure and same times as we've done in prior years. And we would greatly appreciate the city continuing their support of our car show. Do we have any questions?
Matt,
I have one question. I don't know if you'll be able to answer it. How many cars can you theoretically fit in there? You said you had 200. I mean, what's your limit where you start cutting people off?
Probably at 200, we probably could have parked another 25 to 30 cars.
Okay.
And that's about it. The good news is, a couple years ago, that we were able to get Ash Street, part of Ash Street, and that's really helped us with our overflow. So yeah, about 225, 230 would be the max, and that's when we'd have to start turning people away. Okay, good question. Thank you.
Chris.
Is there a cost to the poker walk?
There is not. No.
All
They
right.
just register for it, and yeah. Last year was the first year that we did that, and that was very successful. So, yeah. Anything else? I thank you for your time
I
and your
just want to
support.
comment, Keith, 20 years ago, I judged that car show
Is
at
that right?
Leaker's parking lot. Yes.
Yeah, I understand. I remember that. Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yes.
It's a lot bigger and a lot nicer cars. There's a variety of cars at this car.
Yeah, we have some cars that come in that are probably $500,000 cars.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great show. A lot of variety. You get anything and everything, and the car show people really enjoy coming to Valley Center. So we hope we can continue that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve Lions Club Car Show requests and street closures for September 11th, 2026, with a rain date of September 13th, 2026.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the request for the Lions Club Car Show. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to change order number 1 for Prairie Lakes.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Samantha Garib and I'm with SEH. Before you is a schedule change order for Prairie Lakes Phase 5. The reason for this change order is because the developer did not have the letter of credit in time for council to approve the contractor's bid. So Pearson requested a 30-day extension to their completion date.
Any questions, comments? A motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve change order number 1 for Prairie Lakes Phase 5 and authorize the mayor to sign.
Have a motion and a second to approve the change order for Prairie Lakes 1. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on, approval of the Federal Construction Engineering Inspection Services.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Christy Skaggs with PEC. I am here tonight to present the construction engineering agreement between Sedgwick County, KDOT, and the City of Valley Center. So this is for the construction engineering services that the county is providing for your multi-use path portion of the Seneca project. So, and to remind everybody, the road and the multi-use path have 2 different sources of funding. So while Wildcat is out there right now, they're doing the road portion of the project. The multi-use path portion of the project will be following the road. So that hasn't actually started yet. When that starts, Sedgwick County will be inspecting this section of the project like they're inspecting the road. So any questions?
Any questions or comments? Amy?
Thank you, Mayor. I did have a question about the inspection. On page 1 of 18 of the proposal, it says, line item D, that the LPA, which I think is the City of Valley Center, does not have sufficient qualified engineering employees to accomplish the inspection. Just one in a timely manner, it said. I just wanted to make sure that we don't have those capabilities at all in Valley Center. Okay.
So for KDOT projects, there are specific KDOT requirements that you have to have, specific certifications, specific classes, stuff like that. And city staff does not have those.
Thank you.
Any other questions? You need a motion to approve?
Make a motion to accept agreement number 1045-25 for construction inspection services with Sedgwick County and the Kansas Department of Transportation and authorize mayor to sign.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the federal construction agreement inspection services. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to ordinance 1441-26.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. You might recall several months ago, we annexed a portion of property along Interurban that was requested by the property owners. They've since platted that property. During our boundary resolution in December, PEC actually caught that we inadvertently annexed more land than we were supposed to. The property owners provided us the entire legal description of the original tract of land that included where now the Bob White subdivision is. And so we are now, the Bob White owner did not request annexation. So we are needing to de-annex that property. Up on the screen, you can see in green, Clint, if you could scroll, it will let you go up just a little bit more. There we go. So we annexed that entire area in green. If you can go to the next one, Clint. We're supposed to annex, and the property owners requesting annexation only owned the land shown in orange. That's all that should have been requested to be annexed. And then if you can scroll one more, please. This one shows the area that's the Bob White subdivision that's actually supposed to be in the county, and that we are requesting that you approve this ordinance this evening, which will remove that from that annexation. This was annexed last year inadvertently. It was annexed after the county assessed taxes for the 2025 year. And by us de-annexing it before the cutoff for this year, they should not have any tax implication from the city of Valley Center. If they do, that's something the city could look at rectifying. But I did talk to the county today, and they did not believe that they would be charged taxes from the city of Valley Center for this. Staff recommend approval, and I'll stand for any questions you might have.
Amy?
I know that they're planning to develop that area. Are they planning to develop the area that is being de-annexed as well?
So the area that's being de-annexed was before the annexation occurred. The area in purple on this screen was platted into large acre lots for rural housing development. And the gentleman that developed those also owned the rest of this, and he did not want his subdivision to be in the city limits. So he subdivided and then sold the rest, and the developers of the portion that was supposed to be annexed, their subdivision was approved to be with city regulations. But these were supposed to be rural lots.
And those the ones that are annexed are going to be smaller than that 1 acre?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Make a motion to waive first reading of ordinance 1441-26. Move to approve ordinance 1441-26 to amend ordinance 1428-25, de-annexing attractive land.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve ordinance. Waive first reading on ordinance 1441-26 and approve the amending 1428-25 de-annexation. Any other questions, comments? All in favor of the motion, signify for raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to item E, authorization of bank signatures.
Good evening again. With Syndra starting last Monday, this is just us rearranging the bank signers back out again. This adds Syndra Castens back on as a signer for the account and removes Christy Carruthers from signing privileges. We're going to make this effective 2/24/26, which gives the banks about 3 weeks to kind of get everything up in place. So the four signers would be myself, Syndra, Jet, and Ben Anderson. Kind of the model that we had previously with the previous. I stand for any questions you have. If you approve this tonight, I'll reach out to the banks, show them that this has been passed, and we will prepare the very long amount of paperwork that has to be signed by everybody, like we've done a few times. I stand for any questions.
Questions? Motion to approve?
I move to authorize the following persons as signers for accounts at Halstead Bank, Fidelity Bank, People's Bank, and Emprise Bank. Syndra Castens, Clint Miller, Jet Truman, and Ben Anderson. Also remove Christy Carruthers as an authorized signer.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the authorization of bank signers. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify for raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, moving on to hot topic of the country, discussion regarding the brush pile.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of council. So, yes, it is a hot topic. So, I've had several questions from some of you, mayor, citizens, when the brush pile is going to open again. As you know, after the large storm, we had a very, very large pile in there. We ended up having to contract that to be burned. Through that process, there were several big holes dug. There was large pieces of tree left in the dirt. There's still some maintenance that's going to need to be done there. Basically, what I wanted to do was bring this to you officially and ask to start discussions on this and get a feel for what direction you would like for staff to do, investigate where to have it, what hours that you would prefer to have open, get a little bit of direction on what your expectations are so we can go look for options and try to come back with possible solutions.
So this is just an open discussion?
That's what it was meant for. There's no action, no discussion. I'm looking for some directions here.
Amy?
Maybe I missed it, but is there a reason why we can't have it in the same area?
And right now, staff feels that burning, I even spoke with the fire department, burning in that location isn't probably the best option. There are other options. We can contract out to have it chipped. We can contract out to have it hauled away. I've already spoken with some other cities. Those are options. Burning in that location, even in the location we had behind Public Works, it's difficult. We have complaints of smoke. It's kind of right in the middle of the city. We have complaints of smoke. There's more risk involved with burning in that location.
I've had people tell me that they really appreciate that, so I would like to be able to continue it. Do we know what the cost would be to outsource it?
I've looked into City of Mays. They're about the same size. They contract with Arbor Masters. I met with Arbor Masters yesterday, and they will honor the same price. They have a 50-yard grapple truck. Mays opens their brush pile once a month for one weekend a month, and they contract Arbor Masters to come in and just haul it away. You don't have chips. They don't chip it. You don't have chips and debris to get rid of. They just take it away, and they charge them about $575 a load. Last year with the large storm that we had, they were right about $15,000 for the entire year. Derby chips theirs. They grind and chip theirs. I can't remember whether they hire that done.
They
or
hire it done.
hire
I
that
think they
done.
pay about 25,000
5,000, yep.
when it's all said and done.
We contracted to have that large pile burned. Fremar come and burned it for us. They came and gave us a quote. Told me he's gonna honor that quote because he gave us a quote, but that took them over a week longer than they expected. That could have cost us $60,000+ to get rid of that. I agree. The spot where we've already have, staff has put in a lot of work. Road out to there. We need controls for the brush pile. But if something burning or financial is something that the council would like, have to probably, staff feels that we'd have to look for a different location.
Chris?
So I agree with Councilmember Reed. A lot of people have come to me and said they really appreciate that. So I'm definitely for trying to get it back open. I guess my question would be is, you said with Mays, they were open one time a month, is that correct? So my question would be, would we have a way to be able to staff that to be open one time a month?
Right now, our current hours is every Friday and Saturday from 8 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And we just open the gate and then have. One way we could do this is we could maybe cut back to 2 times a month and see how it goes, see how big a pile we get. see what we get. I think part of the problem was we were advertising it. We didn't have a way to monitor. We didn't have a way to control. Spoke with Administrator Catherine. This could be a possible option was they would check out a key. They had several keys. Check out a key, sign it out. You would dump your stuff, and then when you were done, key. Sign. Dump brush were people that had a key.
Let me ask you, with that key, would that be something where they would open the gate and lock it behind them? Okay. So I guess my question would be is, what's the cost for someone to man it? What are the different costs for chipping it or burning it? Obviously, if smoke is a problem or dust is a problem, then I want to stay away from that. But I want to make sure if you can work with Clint and see what we can be able to manage.
Burning's off the table.
I agree.
That area is not suitable to burn anything. We have trouble with dust collection on a business in that area too, so we don't need to add smoke to it. Colwich, if I understand, takes a $50 deposit for a key,
Okay.
and you get that back when you bring the key back. That way the key just doesn't disappear. And theirs is operated like that with the key. Go get the key, go pay your deposit, come back with the key, get your deposit back. I personally think that the brush pile ought to be for an emergency case only, big city storm or something. People could cut their branches up and put them in the trash. They haul them off. They allow 5 bags other than the trash container on a pickup. And grass clippings the same way. It's a nice that we have that, but people can put their grass in their bags too and just have the trash guys pick them up. I did talk to Herschel about that, and they do pick them up. So there's not a problem, other than people like mulch, and then people think they do a good use the mulch, but our pile got pretty big even.
Oh, I did bring that up too, Ben's contract with Arbor Masters. Obviously, one of the big benefits is they would come take it, would go away.
Yeah.
You have someone come grind it, then you have a mountain of mulch. Now you got to deal with a mountain of mulch. Have mulch. He says, if you want mulch, give me a call. We'll bring you however much you want for free.
There you go. Jeannie?
So I am a frequent user of the brush pile because I like to keep things neat and tidy. I think it's a very valuable thing for the community to have. You don't have it, pretty soon you have people that have brush piles. Then you have people going out you got to clean this up because the mice are getting into the neighborhood. Just because the skunks are, Frank's going to be busy chasing skunks with brush piles all over the city. And I know that I've seen numerous people take their their grass, their pampas grass, their brush that they've clipped, and they dump it, and they're appropriate with it. Granted, I think that there needs to be some management on who uses it and so on. Having open Friday and Saturday is good. People can clean up those days on the weekends and take it. But I also feel like once a month, we're going to get a lot of calls. If it's open, if it's there, why don't we use it? I don't think we should burn it. I like clean environment, but I think we need to come up with a way that we can manage it and have it as a service for the community. I like the idea of Arbor Masters. I think we need it set in stone, the costs, so we can see. Now, when there's big storms, that is like an over and above. We need to be able to address that. But
He already said he would provide me with a written proposal.
Yeah, and I know that you oversee that brush pile, so you know there's times of the year where the pile it grows exponentially, and then there's times where nothing really happens. Springtime, people are doing cleanups. They're cleaning up their grass and their beds and their brush and their bushes, and so it's going to grow then. And then they may not have a lot except for just grass from their clippings from mowing. Can they put it in the trash? Yeah, I mean you can, but in the end, it's all goes in the same place. So also they charge you. I know you can get 5 bags, but it's also by weight.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not?
Nope.
Okay. So, I mean, we pay a flat fee here. I know that. But when they pick up a lot of grass, that is by weight. But I think that the discussion that we need to have is, what's it going to cost to have arbor masters or somebody like that come manage it? How frequently are we going to have it open? And how are we going to manage? The key thing, getting a key is kind of crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. I like that idea, unless you've been at the dump and seen 7, 8 trucks trying to dump their stuff all at once. So and then you may see 4 more later that afternoon. I mean, you're going to have 70 keys. And I feel sorry for the person that has to check them in and out. I don't know if there's a better way to monitor short of paying staff. So with that in mind, that's something else we have to consider. I do know that there's a business that uses they look like credit cards as a key card. And maybe it'd be such a thing that there could be. Have you ever seen a kiosk that has a computer that says, oh, hey, check in here, like whether it's a doctor's office or somewhere? Well, if we could, and I know they have them because a guy told me about it, but you can pull up to the dump, put in your information, your address, your phone number. If you wanted to, you could show your water bill, and then it's like the ticket on the turnpike. Then it kicks the key out. Then you can scan it, go in. When you come out, the gate automatically closes. You put the key back in the top slot. I mean, there's some options. Would that cost? Yes, but would that save staff from having to check out keys all weekend? I mean, there's a lot of options, and it's good that we're talking about it, but I'm 100% for keeping the brush pile. And I don't think we should burn it ever.
Matt?
Well, Jeannie just stole all about everything I was going to say. Thank you for that. No, I think it should stay open. It's people's, for years, even before I lived here, have always used it. When you take something away, it kind of
Sure.
upsets
understand.
people. With the key part, when I was a mayor in a previous life for a different town, I was the gatekeeper for our dump. And I found out that people were copying the keys.
Ooh.
So I like when I met with you and Neil about doing the automated thing to where people pull in, it closes, they pull back up. And that way people don't see the gate open. Oh, I can go in and dump. It's got to be a control thing, but then I don't like it being open just once a month, because if I got a pile of limbs in my yard, I ain't waiting a month to get rid of them. And I'm not going to cut them all up and get rid of them in 2-3 weeks in my trash can.
Together in the cost of a key card gate that would use the same key card system we have.
I think the council's decided to keep it open, so bring us back a plan.
Do we have any, how often do you want it open? Do you prefer that or not? Or do you want to stay the way it is? Try
Every
it out?
weekend. Every weekend.
Every weekend? Okay,
Not weekend, like it is now, like it's been scheduled.
stay the way it is.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
I think it also depends on cost too. So if we're trying to man this, how's that going to affect cost? I'd like to open as much as we can as well, because I agree with Matt 100%. If I got a bunch of tree limbs I need to get rid of, I'm going to find a way. But so I guess it kind of depends on that. Give us a few different options on that.
I can do that. Consensus of the council?
Matt?
And we're going to have people that probably dump stuff illegally, but you're never going to stop all that. you can control a lot of it, but there's still people that's gonna somehow figure out a way to get with their neighbor and load stuff up and haul it in there. But
I just get I go back to the Maze. Maze is open one day a month, and they have a professional company hauling away. That's $15,000. We're going to truly be, plus some type of an automatic gate, we're going to be looking at 60 cost of the gate and that kind of stuff. So saying this is not budgeted right now. So jumping into some pretty big numbers if we're truly.
But I think if we have some options to at least look at and kind of weigh, I think that'll at least get us started.
I can talk further with Maze. Now, last year was a big year for them. I can talk more. I'm sure they'll give me some more. They've been very, very open so far.
Hopefully last year was just an anomaly. That's not going to happen every
Well,
year.
We live in Kansas.
I got one
Thank
more
you.
comment, I guess.
Huh?
I got one more comment.
Yes, sir.
And it's not to you, it's for the people that are listening and the people that are sitting here. I think it's going to cost us money, which means more tax dollars is going to be needed. If you have a load, you can take it to the dump for $20. If you have to dump it in Valley Center, it's going to cost you a whole year. It might cost you $20 every tax season. So you just got to remember that
And
when we come up with a plan, it's going to cost us money. It's not going to be cheap either.
I would say, Councilman Stam, with the illegal dumping, yes, I don't want to discount that. But as far as like a 2 before here or a 2 before there, that goes away once you stop burning. KDHE, you can't burn that type of stuff because of the air quality. That goes away. If somebody's picking it up and hauling it off, the size, we're going to still keep our sign that says 4 inches or whatever, or smaller. But if we get some bigger stuff in there, that's not as big of a problem if we're not burning. Because if you're burning that and you get bigger things, it doesn't burn in the daylight and the time we have to burn. Some of those problems go away.
Okay, Rodney, I have somebody from the public who wants to address the council on this issue too.
Okay.
So, John? Okay, all right. I guess state your name and address, please. Come up to the podium, please.
Mark Burks, 3433 West 81st Street North. I've been a Valley Center resident for 42 years. And the tree dump is great. What I've seen in the past is, I'm sharing my experience because I've used it quite a bit. The illegal dumping is a big problem. That's the thing that's got to be addressed. It's not so much the brush from Valley Center, it's all of the commercial people that come in with big trailer loads. I've taken pictures of some of those and sent them to the maintenance department. I've talked to some of those guys and said, guys, you're not supposed to be dumping here. I don't do that much because I don't want to get shot, because you never know.
Yeah.
The mulch is a great thing. I go over there and get mulch all the time. It's great. It's great to use for the environment. Last year's storm was a bad deal. And again, we talk about not burning, things like that. We can't let the pile get as big as it has. It's got to be managed. I see it go and go and go. And it's to a point where it's like, oh my God, what do we do now? It's a great deal. I understand not burning, but that's a valuable asset for the Valley Center. You drive down Main Street, there's a big pile of brush in a backyard right there on Main Street. It's been there for months. And another tree, big tree limb on the side of the road, been there for months. Nothing's been done about it. They have no place to put it. These people are probably renters. They have a car. How are they going to haul it away? we have that issue. What about if you tack on $1 a month on your, you got your sewage that you get a bill for, tack on $1 a month and gain some revenue there to help pay for this. Like I said, it's a great asset, just like our parks and everything else. It keeps Valley Center. Valley Center is a very clean town. And I'd like for it to stay that way. So anyway, I appreciate you guys letting me talk and thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any more direction for Rodney?
Bit of work to do here.
You need more direction?
Whatever you'll give me.
Come up with a plan?
Sir. I'll get
Come,
busy.
bring us a manpower plan too. I mean, one person for the days that those are open.
Okay.
So we got an idea. Thank you. Oh, adding the cost to that, to our water bill and stuff for the brush pile might be a good idea, but I want you to come and answer the phones when we do that. Okay. Moving on, discussion regarding special use permit for 201 South Cedar.
All right, good evening again.
All right, Kyle.
Several of you have asked for updates on this a couple times, and we've talked about it a little bit here and there. I did prepare a memo for you just with a brief overview, and I'll kind of highlight most of this. But in June of last year, staff were made aware of a new business that had moved into 201 South Cedar. After that, Valley Center Fire and Valley Center Building Inspector visited the property, and then staff held a meeting with the building owner and business owner, who's the tenant at that building. They're provided with a list of violations, and we told them we did not want to shut them down or run them out of town, but we needed them to come into compliance, which required them to go through getting a special use permit for that property. The special use permit did go on the Planning and Zoning's August agenda. Planning and Zoning made their recommendation with some conditions to council. Council then in September reviewed that request at 2 meetings and gave conditional approval of a special use. Those conditions included being in compliance with fire code, building code, zoning code, and then the last condition that council had set was that they had 90 days after permit issuance to get their rough-in inspections, and then an additional 90 days after the rough-in inspections to get their final inspections, which would have given them 6 months to get those completed. Because this is a commercial facility, any construction plans have to be reviewed by a commercial reviewer, which we do not have on staff, so they have to be submitted to MABCD, which is Wichita Sedgwick County Metropolitan Area Building and Construction Department. Those plans were reviewed, and we were provided the approved plans December 3rd, which one of the things when council gave the conditional approval, we did not know how long MABCD was going to take to review the plans. So that was one piece that from September to December, so about 2 months, well, month and a half, that it took for those plans to get reviewed and get stamped and provided to staff. December 17th, Lions Design shared that they advised the property owner to hire a general contractor who would handle the permitting and know that the contractor would know what is needed. January 16th, we hadn't really heard anything. So I reached out to the property owner who's here this evening to check status and requested that all permits be active by January 30th. He confirmed that he would make everyone aware of the deadline. When I wrote this report last week, only one permit had been submitted, I'll step back a little bit. This whole process also started because there was an electrical permit requested. Then that was the other thing that we were like, well, this is a different use. So we didn't issue that original permit because they needed to get special use before would give them the permit. So they did get the panel completed. And then we, on Friday, we received or issued a mechanical permit. And then this afternoon, we did receive electrical permit application. I did talk to the building owner this afternoon and let him know that we are still waiting on the general contractor to pull the building permit, as well as we're still waiting on a permit to be pulled for the fire sprinkler system. He did tell me that the fire sprinkler system, they are in the process of getting bids. So hopefully they can get a company picked to do that work. Fire department and our inspector did go out on Friday to walk through the facility. And there were a couple fire violations that were noted. We do have our fire chief and public safety director both here this evening that I think can talk a little bit more about those violations. And so I don't, one of them wants to talk and then we can stand for questions.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So there were a couple. We've had some in the past. Usually we tell them what they are and they've been corrected. Last Friday, it was the pallets again are stacked too close together. There's too many, too close. They're not spread apart as they've been instructed in the past to do, which has been an ongoing issue that we tell them, they correct it. And then secondly was some combustible containers that were not properly stored. Those were the violations noted last Friday.
How many of those violations are repeat?
Couple times I've been out there that let them know about the violations, go back, they'll fix them, but whenever I go back again, they're back the way they were. So this has been probably 4 times that we've been out there with this problem.
The same violations. And they want us to help them. Okay. Thank you. Amy?
Kyler, are we able to share the picture that the constituent sent to us? I mean, I have it on my computer, but
Yeah, I can share it with Clint real quick.
the picture that she shared with me is very clear that the violations that had happened in the past that they're well aware of are happening again. So that substantiates what you're telling me.
I apologize. I lost train of thought when I was focusing on sending that. I didn't get to catch the second part of what you had stated.
Just that it substantiates that the same problems are happening that have happened since June. And I guess my next question is, from June to December, it appears that there was like not anything done to move things forward, or am I incorrect in that?
So as far as with permitting, no. They had to engage with an architect or an engineer to get their plans drawn up for what they were needing to do to the building. So there was background work happening. It was just they had to wait for that. And then the plans were submitted to MABCD. I don't know what day they were actually submitted. I just know they were provided to us stamped from MABCD on December 3rd. This picture that Amy is referencing is taken from the northeast of the facility off of Cedar. And so this is roughly the current state of the northeast corner of the property as of today.
And the reason we received complaints in the beginning was residents in the area were in fear of fire risks. right? And smoke. And I've
Dust.
also heard complaints just last week about noise from the facility. A neighbor says at 7 o'clock every morning, there's music blaring from the area that wakes him up.
When you sent that to me yesterday, that is something that we'll start looking, watching out for.
I'll ask one more question, then I'll stop. So what are our options? I mean, as a city, what are we, because I'm frustrated and my constituents, this is in my area, are very frustrated, multiple people. And I think we've given lots of leeway. We've been extremely reasonable. And this is a blatant fire risk and it continues even though the owner is aware that they're not following protocol. They have no smoke. I mean, I know they're not working inside of the buildings, but no smoke detectors, none of those requirements. What are our options? Can anybody answer that? Do we need Barry?
I'll
who's
do
not
my
here?
best. Cinder might have some input and Lloyd might as well. So with the approval that was given contingent was upon them being in compliance. With the visit on Friday, normally with a code violation, we would provide notice and give them time to rectify the code issue. If you're looking at any other code issue in town, that's what we would typically do is provide notice and give them a time frame to rectify that situation. In retrospect, looking back during the meeting, when you guys were considering approving the special use, we remember that we had talked or looked back at the owners and were under the impression that as soon as MABCD approved the plans that they would have contractors ready to go and start pulling permits. We did not end up putting a timeline in that motion that they had to have permits pulled by a certain date. So unfortunately, we didn't have a timeline for that. But now with these permits being pulled, you did give 90, from permit issuance, they have 90 days to get their rough-in inspections done. They were, the conditions were though that they had to be in compliance with building code, fire code, and the zoning code, as well as those 90-day permits. Like I said, with the fire code, we know there are a couple violations. So the council has ultimate decision on this, but normally we would provide a notice of violation and give them opportunity to rectify the situation.
Have we cited any
That's what I was just
yet? And like any violations, have we cited?
Typically on those, we would just give the notice for them to take care of it. When they do, we don't.
Even though it's multiple
Let's
times?
say after 4 times, I don't think we ought to.
This is an uncommon situation for the fire department. This doesn't happen often.
Cinder?
Mayor, members of council, you have a couple of options before you. You do have a special use permit in play that did have conditions upon it. Those conditions have not been met. So you have an option to basically pull that permit or not. Standard practice would typically be to follow a period of notification and an opportunity for remediation before we would proceed. I'm not necessarily saying that you have to do that. I can let you know that we haven't been able to visit with Barry on that to confirm, but that would be the safest protocol to follow. Giving an opportunity for remediation with a deadline date and proper notification that not following that by this date would result in the permit being pulled.
Have all the permits been pulled at this point? And do we have the dates of when those were?
So Friday we received, Friday we issued, I should say, mechanical permit. Today we received an application for electrical permit. We still need a building permit and then a permit for their fire suppression system. There's 2 of the 4 permits that are required, have been at least submitted. One has not been issued yet because we received it late this afternoon. But then there's 2 more that are needed.
We got the owner here, don't we?
Yes, Howard Hancock.
You've been operating about almost a year now. Why are these permits not being
Well,
purchased or
the way it
acquired?
works, we have to get the plans drawn, okay? Then they have to be submitted to the city of Wichita, okay? Then once they're approved, then we get bids to have the job done. I mean, we followed the procedure exactly how you wanted us to do it.
In the meantime, you're still operating, causing our fire departments to do extra work, causing our neighbors to complain because you're not complying with controls that should be controlled with. You're just running basically an unauthorized business right now.
Well, I have no control over how my tenant is running. I mean, Terry's here if you want to talk to him.
Well, I don't want to talk to him. I want to get this solved, or I want to get it shut down. One or the other. You guys have got to comply or shut your business down.
I understand. I've had drawings for the sprinkler system. I've got drawings for all the electrical. I've got drawings for, there's one other thing. But anyway, I've got drawings for everything. I've got everything approved for the city of Wichita, which they approved it, was it December 3rd?
That's what we received.
Right. So then you can't just have people start. Now the drawings are approved. So then you have to have contractors look at it so they can give a bid if they can even do the job. And then we got Christmas. So, I mean, nothing gets done over, Christmas. So, we did get, we're getting bids. I got one bid from a sprinkler company, $83,000. I'm waiting for a bid from another company that does a lot of work in Wichita that we're hoping to be a better bid. I just got a bid today for the electrical for to run the service for the grinder and then also for all the machine hookups inside the building. They gave us that today and I told them to call and pull a permit, which they did. And now Rusty Gibson, he's a general contractor. Now we did that, I don't know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. We were here in Valley Center. I think it was 2 weeks ago. We went to your office, and you have to get approved you have to get a permit to be able to do business in Valley Center, which is fine. We did that, and he pulled a general contractor permit or a mechanical permit. Right. We pulled both. We were not aware of a building permit. I just found about that today, and I called Rusty. He said no problem. He'll pull a building permit. That's not an issue. I'm trying to do everything right. So.
Amy?
So I guess a couple of things. First of all, if calling and requesting a permit took 6 months from June, that's very disturbing to me. The second thing is that when we talked about this before, I asked Barry, our attorney, if there were a fire and you're operating and not meeting code, does that potentially hold the city liable for allowing you to operate? And he said yes. So those things have me concerned. I just don't understand why these phone calls for the permits couldn't have happened in July, August, September, October, before December when
Because we have to have the drawings done and we have to have those approved before we pull permits. There's no reason to pull permits if your drawings aren't approved.
and the drawings take 6 months.
The architect has to draw them and do all the designs and make sure they're good. And also they submit them to Wichita. Wichita bounces them back. They go back and forth. Also for the sprinklers, the city has to look at them, and then the fire marshal up in by the Coliseum has to look at them, and he has to approve them. He bounces them back and forth. So I mean, I have no control over that.
And that all happens before they will issue a permit?
Right. Because you have to show them what you're doing. I mean, there's no way to bid a job. There's no way to pull a permit until you have the drawings of what we're going to do. And, you know, nobody knows what's going to cost or to estimate it till they see the drawings of what's required.
But in that retrospect, you're still going strong in a business that you don't have any authorizations to be doing, really.
Well, we're not working in the building.
Well, I understand that. That's probably the main issue.
Okay.
We've got 4 citations back to back over the same thing.
They're official citations.
Well, they're not citations, but they should have been. I'm telling you, they should have been.
Okay.
You're grinding that stuff. You're not controlling the sawdust. It's blowing all over the neighborhoods. I got pictures that look like a snowstorm over there.
Well, that's from the neighbors across the street.
No, it's not. They fixed their problem, moved it clear on the other side of their building. It's coming out. I got pictures of it coming right out of your grinder. And then you're here wanting us to help you out. That you're not helping us out any.
How do you want me to help?
I want you to
you've
get your
asked.
business under control, basically. And you've had almost over a year to do that.
Well, I've done,
And you
I've
keep
done
making-
everything you've asked.
Well,
I've had drawings done.
it's
I've had them
not done.
approved.
It's not completed.
I don't have control
It's
over
like if
everybody.
I go out and build a house somewhere, I don't have a license, I'm not a contractor, I got anything. The guy's gonna come out and shut me down because I don't have the stuff I
That's
need to
right.
do my
That's why we're
business.
getting drawings and that's why we're getting permits and that's why we're getting everything approved before we do everything.
Still going strong out there. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You're still going strong out there without the building. Nothing's slowing you down out there. And it looks like we're on the back burner. We'll get our stuff done when it
You're
gets
not on the
done.
back burner. I've done everything as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, in reality, we've got a guy across the street that has no fire anything. And he's doing the same thing these guys are doing. They're building pallets. They're grinding wood. They don't have any fire. They don't even have any sprinklers. We at least have half the building sprinkled. Then you've got a guy doing wood piles over on the other side to the south, and he has wood scattered everywhere. I mean, I'm not saying any of that's right. We're trying to do everything right. And I've already told Terry he needs to get it under control as far as the fire hazard stuff and the music in the morning. That's not acceptable. I mean, I agree with you.
Okay. Jeannie?
I have a question for Ms. Castens. What are the legalities or the possibilities of suspending activity at the business until they can complete the permits or what they need to do to be up to code? If it's 60 days or whatever the number is. As a business owner, you don't want to be suspended for 60 days, but if it's not right, it's not right. So can you enlighten us on that?
I can attempt to. As I said, we haven't had the opportunity to visit with Barry because he was unavailable. But I can tell you, just as we've reviewed the documentation, because of course, proceeding with any kind of permit withdrawal, we want to make sure that we have followed that in proper channels. So when this conditional use permit was approved, there were some dates attached to that, but those dates started after permits were approved. So that was approved by this council in writing, that those conditions started after the permit was approved, and it gave them a certain period of time. We're actually still in that time in compliance. So it would be difficult to withdraw that permit at this point because that piece is under compliance still. The part that's not in compliance is the fire safety issues. So the council would have two potential options on that again, and that would be, since it was a condition of the special use, to make sure that the fire safety was in compliance, and that is not being met, you can proceed on that. The proper way to proceed on that is what we wanted to visit with Barry about, to know whether or not legally we needed to provide a period of compliance notification. We have not done that. That's the only part that concerns me from a legal standpoint. I would recommend that we do that in some form, and on the fire side with a very short remediation date, because that is a safety issue. I think if you provide that notice with a period of time to remediate, and that notice needs to include what's going to happen if that's not met by that date, which would be suspension of that conditional use permit, then I think you're more legally covered. That's just my opinion at this time, since we haven't been able to visit with Barry.
Thank you. I agree with that. We need to have Barry involved.
Yes. Amy?
Yeah, one more thing to say. I think the owner needs to take accountability for continuing to violate those fire codes, but I'm also disappointed in the city in not charging and official violations of these codes. I understand we're pro-business and I respect that. One warning should be enough. Occurrence 2, occurrence 3, occurrence 4, I think we need to cite them. And that's our legal protection that we're trying to do something to move forward.
No, and what I'm gonna have to say, treat everybody the same.
Agreed.
You've got other people in that area that are in total way
Agreed.
more violation than my tenant. And we are
Agreed.
trying very hard to keep the place neat and clean, while other people in the area are total slobs.
Well, and
You know,
that
so
just
let's
lets,
treat everybody fairly, at least. I mean, that's all we ask.
no, I 100% agree. And rules are rules and we should
And
follow
I
them.
totally agree on the violations. I mean, they need to get it together, because they've got to stop where the fire department can come over and start looking at violations. I've told them that over and over again. I'm gonna tell them that again tonight. So, you know, I've done everything humanly possible to make this whole thing work. For architects, City of Wichita, all the permits, all the drawings. I mean, I have done everything as best I can. So,
Except they understand what the requirements are and they're still not being met.
well, that's on Terry. I mean, he's runs the outfit. He's my tenant, so
Yeah.
he's here listening. I mean, he needs to not have these violations. I've addressed that before also. I mean, I totally agree.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. So,
Matt?
So it kind of sounds like we kind of got to get with Barry, so we should maybe table this for the next meeting or a month and get our ducks in a row and.
yeah.
That would be at your discretion. I don't think it hurts anything to move forward on that. We have to correct these notifications anyway. I mean, we have to provide notification. This is not in compliance. We have a fire safety issue. I don't think you can go wrong with proceeding with at least providing that notification and getting that cleared up, and waiting 2 weeks. I don't know that that's a wise thing to do, since it is a fire safety issue. And I don't think you have any legal ramification for proceeding on that. And one point of clarification that Lloyd might have to help me with, because I'm still learning all of your processes here. But on the violation issue, and Lloyd, again, please let me know if I'm about to make a complete error. But, you know, this is an unusual situation because it's a conditional use, and those conditions are tied to fire safety because there were some fire safety violations. I think standard fire safety inspections happen very differently. And in this case, where it seems like notification has not been provided, it's more so of the inspection being provided for the purpose of the conditional use. So I would say it's a little bit uncommon. And most of the time, I don't think our fire department is probably going around and checking all businesses at once. I certainly understand about all businesses being treated fairly, but I think we're talking about two very different processes here.
Yeah,
And
we
I don't know
are.
if you would add to that.
Absolutely. It is unusual. We were doing not common situation for us, so she is exactly right.
Any questions or comments? We table this special use till the next meeting? We can talk to Barry. I don't want to put it off 30 days. But if that's acceptable, I'd take a motion. If not, I'll take a motion to accept it.
So move.
Yeah. So move to what? Table it or accept it?
To accept it.
As presented by the owner.
The special use permit. We've got a motion to accept the special use permit. Don't we have to approve it?
We already did
Mayor and members
Do
of
that.
council, I think what we're needing direction on is if you want us to proceed on the fire safety violations and/or proceed on suspension of the special use permit. The latter is what I would recommend we get notification from Barry on.
So that's a two-part process then that we're talking about. Okay.
If my constituents agree.
So we can make a motion to the first one that you said. Say that again.
Yes, you could guide us. I'm not even sure that a motion is necessary. We'll just follow typical protocol. Guide us to go ahead and proceed on the fire safety violations with a deadline date. And then you could, really, we're not looking for any other action. We'll also provide with guidance to go ahead and consult with Barry on the special use permit activity.
Okay.
And then we'll come back in 2 weeks and update you on that. But we'll get the fire safety addressed immediately.
Second.
I was going to say, can I say so moved now?
Well, there's no action we got to take now, really. No, there's not.
There wasn't.
No, there's no action to be taken.
This was a
Staff's been directed.
discussion.
It was all a discussion.
Oh,
That's
Jeannie.
right.
There was no action to be required.
I have a question because you said get the fire safety addressed in a timely fashion. Do we need to give them the timely fashion or will staff address
You know
that?
what? Let's do that because do you have any procedures that will set a timeline?
Whatever staff, I mean, reasonable amount of time. What we will do is send a letter, a certified letter.
Probably a good idea. Let's get a motion on that one and with a timeline set by council for remediation on the fire safety. I think that staff would support a short timeline.
When,
You don't mind me just stepping in real quick. Again, with this, I don't think we have a timeline set. With a lot of our other code enforcement, we often have either a 5-day or a 10-day remediation period, depending on what the item is. So if you're wanting to set a timeline with similar to what we would for other violations, I think a 5 or a 10-day. Again, I'd rather see quicker. So 5 days would be my recommendation. But that's, again, up to your decision this evening.
Jeannie?
I was going to ask that and you answered the question. Initially, I thought 10 days, but because it being a fire safety issue, I mean, I don't want to put our department at risk, so.
Did the fire department write a letter that says exactly what the violations are, so they know what they need to correct? And was there a paper given or anything?
So that's what's going to happen now. In the past, it's been verbal when he's out there doing the inspection. And it was acknowledged that, yeah, I understand the problem and they would take care of it, but then it goes back to the same problem. We have been out there when the pallets have the proper spacing, they're the proper height. We've been out there and witnessed that.
So they have.
But then
They have none.
And so we've been out there other times and it's been like it is in the picture, where it's completely not in compliance. And so that presents numerous dangers, as you would imagine, fire to the grounds, fire to surrounding areas. We would not, our fire department would not be able to go in there and take an offensive stance on that type of fire. We would have to be defense on the outskirts, trying to keep the fire from spreading with the size of that tile.
Okay. Terry, you want to address council? Give you some
I
name and
definitely understand the
address, please.
situation. Oh, I'm sorry, Terry Sowers, 201 South Cedar. I definitely understand the situation. I know when you guys came out, we were on the tail end of a snowstorm, so we were real confined to a tight spot. All I need is to spread everything out a little more across the property that I have, and I can get that done here pretty quick. there are lanes in there. You just can't see them from the angle of the picture, but we drive forklifts through it, the last few days just to be able to keep things flowing. So, I mean, as far as that stuff in the front, it's pretty much going to be gone. I can't dump anything at the dumps as far as the grindings and whatnot due to all the mud from the snow and what have you. I have like 5 places where I take it. They're all refusing it right now because trucks getting stuck with the snow melting, mud, semis don't do too well in it. But I'll have it figured out here real quick. So it's not like it's going to take too terribly long.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think the 5 days is what we should go with.
Okay. Let's make that a motion.
May I add one additional item? In that motion, would you include a ramification if not met within that timeline, which I think at this point you could safely say would be revocation or suspension of the special use permit?
I don't know if I can say all that.
Go for it, Chris.
So recommend notice with 5 days for correction. If not completed,
Temporary suspension.
temporary suspension of the special use
So written.
permit.
Notice delivered.
Yeah.
With what
Well, you would be,
specifically needs to be done.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you for your assistance.
Can we include an issuance of citations for that?
That would be a separate thing for the court.
Okay.
Okay, I have a motion For-
Second.
and a second. To impose a 5-day maximum correction limit on citations issued by the fire department. Guess that pretty well sums it up, I think, doesn't it?
Say the word correct or citation, we're not issuing a citation with the correction notice is what it would be. Not a
Correction
citation.
notice, okay, yes. Correction notice. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same side, motion carried. That- Moving on to the consent agenda. Any questions or comments?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to staff reports. Kyle.
All righty. Good evening again. Just a few quick updates. I don't know if any of you have been on the city website since Wednesday last week, but the final new finished website is up. We do have some little things here and there that we keep finding that we're needing to get corrected. So if you are on it and you see an error, please let me know so I can get it addressed as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, we had things on the temporary website right, but if we were making changes after a certain date, they weren't transferred to the new website. So we're having to go back and do some cleanup. But I think the new website does look nice and clean. I think it has a little bit better guidance as to where you need to go to get things. So hopefully everyone likes it. You may recall several months ago, it's been a while and it's been a very delayed process. The flood maps were under revision. There was a public hearing or public input sessions that were held in the county. The state has received preliminary issuance from FEMA on those maps. What that means basically is they've been reviewed. They've more or less been accepted. They now have 18 to 24 months before those become the final official floodplain maps. The good news for Valley Center is the city limits had basically 0 additions to the floodplain. Unfortunately, no removals, which would have been nice beyond the dirt work that's been done and received approval to be removed from the floodplain, but it did not grow within the city limits. So that's good news. And then the other item, you did appoint one person to the reappoint someone to the Economic Development Board earlier this evening. One of our other people did decide to not seek reappointment. And so we do have an opening on that. So if you know anyone that might be a good fit for that board, please point them my direction. We will be advertising that hopefully on the Facebook page and website that we have an opening for that spot. I'll stand for any questions you might have.
I have one question. I have a new laptop. Can you get me all keyed up to the city stuff again?
I can try.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, Amy.
Kyle, I have a question. Before we could access our email from the website, how do we do that now?
I have a ticket in for that. I was not aware that that was an issue until Christy, I think, told me yesterday, and then a couple of employees did. So I put a ticket in to get that fixed because I'm not sure where that link went.
Thank you.
Anything else? Thank you, Kyle. Neil?
Nothing to report on this evening, Mayor.
Lloyd? Rodney?
The last meeting, I was asked to bring some pictures of the water treatment plant. If you'll see my status report, they possibly could be bigger pictures, but as you'll see, if there's any questions, but that's view from the east, and you'll see there's metal structures being risen, and in that trench there, you'll see conduit. That conduit will be for electrical and communications. If we scroll on down to the next picture, here's a view from the south. And again, you'll see a metal structure coming up. We're going vertical on the water treatment plant building. And behind there, you'll see the block walls that I kept talking about for the masons. Those block walls will be for the chemical room and the electrical room inside. We'll scroll on down. Here you have your backwash basin that we've talked about with the railings around the top. And then this is a view from the west, and as you can see, and then just to the left, or my left of that backwash basin, right next to that building will be the green sand filters will be right up next to the building there. So that's one of the first parts of the filtration process for your water. Scrolling down. Here we have a view from the north. Again, more metal structures. And then today, I received the great website Burns and Mac update that I got. I got it this morning, and so I'm going to have a chat with Burns and Mac and see if we can get our timing right, where we can get that thing sent to me so we can get it into council packets.
Chris?
Any other questions?
Rodney, I just wanted to say thank you very much for putting some pictures in there. Seeing this excites me. So I am so glad to see some progress like this. So it's coming true.
That, if you'll read that was a KDHE inspection of the process. So there's some explanation of some work being done on the plant. Yes, it is exciting to finally see it going vertical.
Thank you.
Bet. And we did have a Seneca Street progress meeting today. We got some good news. The gas line relocation that we spoke of last meeting, they're hoped to have that done this week and be out of the way in the north portion.
Good.
They getting ready to pour curbing around the roundabout. They're hoping to have that done this week. They've been working on concrete approaches to the bridge. They hope to have those done this week. And also, the Wildcat has done an excellent job of moving to different parts of the project while they can't work on the north. And they should be really close to having all the storms south of the bridge and rock base on the road south of the bridge almost to Satara by the end of the week. So it's moving along. They've done an excellent job of keeping things moving while they were waiting on Kansas Gas.
Amy?
I had a question. Do you still have some open positions for the water treatment plant?
Well, we don't have positions.
I was thinking
for the
there's some
water
kind of
treatment
water
plant yet.
something.
We have an open position in water. in our water department.
Okay.
And we still have 2 open positions in our streets department.
Okay.
Yeah, that, we
Any good
still have to
candidates?
sit down and evaluate what we need to do as far as staffing for the plant.
Gotcha.
That's going to be a different process.
That's a ways down the road.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
She's looking for a job.
Well, I know somebody that applied is why I asked
Oh.
for the water position.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
Anything else? Thank you, Rodney.
Yes, sir.
And Gage is not here. Barry's not here. Janice? Okay. Clint?
Just want to bring you up to speed on a couple pending issues that we have. One, we have an upcoming bond sale toward the end of March. It is going to be for $7.5 million for Vale Point and Amber Ridge for the streets, sewer, and everything development's going, as well as $4.85 million in TIF that is maturing. So going to be busy here in the upcoming weeks getting the documents ready for Moody's to rate us again and go through that process for the upcoming bond sale. I also wanted to bring to your attention, I've kind of been doing this as a little side project, but Valley Center has not really shopped ourselves from an insurance standpoint for many, many decades. In fact, nobody can really remember the last time we did it. We've been with EMC. I wasn't real sure how that was going to go, but we have had some insurance companies have some interest in us. And this week I got a letter, actually last Friday, I got a letter that EMC is going to change how they're going to handle our roofs. Now, essentially, all of our buildings in the city are going to have new roofs. And category 5 shingles, which should be impact resistant for a while, but we of course do get frequent hailstorms. But essentially what they're going to do is start rapidly depreciating our roofs on a $200,000 building that suffers $10,000 in damage. After 10 years, they will write us a $3,000 check. So it's going to go down really, really rapidly. So what it really turns into is a catastrophic insurance policy that if a tornado hits us, we're covered. But as far as hail and windstorms, which is the more frequent claim that cities have, we're going to have very, very minimal coverage. So I'm going to take this and kind of move it up the priority scale, work with Syndra and others to try to see what options are out there. Hopefully we can find some people that can save us some money or at least give us some better insurance coverage for those non-catastrophic events. So I wanted to bring you up to speed on those 2 issues, and I'll stand for any questions if you have anything.
Questions? Thank you, Clint. Missy?
Last summer, my husband and I began thinking, and I did send this out to council in an email. If you read the whole email, you already know. Our department directors do not know, but I have turned in my notice retiring on April the 3rd. So 2 months from today, I will be retiring. I'm getting the look from Lloyd. Yeah, I felt bad on the second day of Syndra's new job, telling her this, but I wanted to give as much advance notice so that the city can prepare. But it was a hard decision, but I'm excited. My husband's retired, so we're going to be able to travel and go see family and not have to worry about it. So just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. I didn't hear any of that. Did you guys?
I make a motion to ignore that.
Okay. Moving on. Syndra.
Mr. Mayor and members of council, I have to say that I'm so excited to finally be here in front of you. It feels like it was a long wait, and thank you for your patience as I transitioned from one to the other. But since I am finally here in person, I do want to express my most humble appreciation for this opportunity to serve this community. And I tell you that I will work hard for this city, and I will work hand in hand with these people that one weekend I'm already growing a great respect for. So I'm very excited about that, and I want to thank you so much. 1 week down, I came back on Monday, so it's a good sign. My priority, obviously, the first week was to meet with department heads and start the long process of getting caught up to speed. Great group of individuals, like I said. You should be very, very blessed. I can see you have a great group. And I also have some meetings set up with Gage and Samantha this week to get caught up on our projects. So basically, I will be spending a lot of time right here. As you guys know from the interview, that first 30 days is really just playing some catch up and getting acclimated, and that's what I'm doing right now. So thank you again for this opportunity. And to the community, I also just want to say that I'm very excited to get to know all of you. And I'm very, very, very humbled and very excited to be here. Great opportunity. I'm excited about a small town community because I love those very much and I'm very passionate about them. So it's great to be here and to plug in. And that's all. I'll stand for questions.
Questions or comments?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
We're glad you're here.
Yes.
Thank you again.
I'd like to jump in. I forgot to mention, we are going to have a meet and greet for the public, 4 to 7 in 2 weeks, right before our next council meeting. I'll be getting some notices out to people and putting it on the website and on the sign that meet and greet for all the community, residents, everyone. So that'll be in 2 weeks.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on, governing body reports. I guess I probably should apologize to Kyle. You know, that pallet thing's driving me crazy because they got the cart before the horse and they don't seem to realize it. I guess I don't understand, but we're working on it now. Also, I saw in the news that we have a student in Valley Center that received a big scholarship award from Wichita State. Caden Langford. Can't even read my own writing. Anyway, we need to see if we can get him here for the council meeting next council meeting. That's quite an honor. Other than that, that's all I have. I guess snow removal went great. We didn't have too many complaints. And looks like we're in for a good meltdown next couple of weeks. So that's good. I got on my memories that tomorrow we received 6 inches of snow in 2003, I think. So it can still come. Okay, that's all I've got. Ron?
Yeah, I've got 2 things. One, it's that time of year, people, that I'll be starting to read the legislative material this year for the coming year. I've already received 1 letter and I'm waiting on another one. So at the next meeting, I'll bring you up to date on some of the projects that we're working on. They are also working on. The second thing is I'm looking forward to working with the new administrator. And we have a program that I'd like to get taken care of as soon as possible for the ancient aging in Wichita, which I'm a chairman of one of the committees there. That we have a project that is going to be coming down shortly, and it's going to involve a lot of money. Unfortunately, Valley Center has $18,000. I think that's what was contributed to last year. Yep. It was at $18,000. We have to get our bid in if we want to go up to $30,000 or $35,000 or $40,000 for the coming years, 06 or 26 and 27. On that there. Other than that, that's all I got.
Eric?
I just want to say welcome to our new city administrator, and I appreciate your guidance tonight. There were a couple of rough moments where we're trying to figure out our direction, so thank you so much.
Amy?
I want to reiterate that. Welcome. And Christy, congratulations. I'm happy for you, but we will miss you terribly. That's all.
We'll have her around a couple more months.
True.
Gina?
I think we have a birthday this coming Thursday, don't we? We won't sing, Kyle. We won't sing, but Kyle's birthday is coming Thursday.
I'll sing after the meeting.
Okay.
You don't want to sing on camera? Oh. Jeannie?
I want to thank the Public Works and probably Parks for the snow removal. Exceptional. Appreciate what you guys do. Welcome, Sandra. And then congratulations to Clint on getting that award for us. And Christy, you're going to love retirement.
Every day is a Saturday.
It is.
Don't run for city council.
Chris?
Just a couple of things. So I wanted to say thank you, Clint, because you're always thinking outside the box and trying to figure out ways to save money and get better bang for the buck. And so you're talking about the insurance tonight, and that caught my attention. Thank you again for the pictures. I do appreciate that, Rodney. Welcome, Cinder. We're glad to have you here. And then Christy, I have not had the pleasure of working with you as long as maybe some others, but I will miss you. So thank you for everything that you have done.
Matt?
I echo what everybody said. With that, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor of the motion, signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. I thought the lights went out for a minute.